What's up, baseball players? I'm Coach Dan Blewett. In today's video, let's talk about how to get out of a slump. All right, so if you're new here, I'm Coach Dan. I'm a former pro pitcher, and here on my channel, I do tons of videos about pitching, about mindset, strength training, arm care, baseball strategy, all of it. So stick around, be sure to subscribe, and share this video with a friend later if you found that it really helped you get out of your slump. So today, slumps are going to apply to both hitters and pitchers and really just means the same thing. I know it's typically, you think of a slump as a hitter thing, but for me as a pitcher, I had a couple bad weeks every season where that was like, I'm in a slump, I'm not pitching well. So this will apply equally, these bunch of different tips to whether you're a hitter or a pitcher. So let's jump into it. Number one, the first thing is you need to figure out whether this is bad luck and you don't really need to change, or if it's actually something's wrong, whether it's mechanically or your mindset or something actually needs to get fixed with your skill level or your level of play or your mechanics or whatever it is. So if you're lining out a lot as a hitter, if you're hitting the ball pretty hard, if you're having good at bats and you're just not getting a lot of hits, there's no cause for change. So you can't be mentally weak where you consider yourself in a slump when you've stung the ball a bunch of times and just haven't gotten a lot of hits. So you need to be mentally tough and understand the difference. Same thing with pitching. I've had times when I just got bad outcomes a bunch of times in a row when I was pretty sure I threw the ball pretty well. Sometimes you make really good pitches one outing and you get hit. Some days you make really crappy pitches and you don't get hit. So you need to have some wherewithal and really sit down and think, all right, let's go back through my last couple outings, my last bunch of at-bats. Did I have just a string of bad luck and I played actually pretty well, or did I actually play poorly? Number two, you need to stay in your routine. So your routine is the thing that got you there in the first place, right? So if at the beginning of the season you were doing well, or like halfway through the season you were doing well, and now a couple weeks later you're doing poorly, well, what was the stuff you were doing before, in the before time, essentially, when you're playing well? If it was this, long routine of, the way you get ready, the things you do in the week, the way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you train, if all those things used to work for you, don't just abandon them all now. Stay in your routine, keep getting your reps in, keep getting your sleep, show up to the ballpark at the same time, go through all those motions that help you stay consistent. Don't suddenly stray from all of them and get way off track when something's not going right. Trust your routine that if it's doing good things when you're playing well, it'll help you get back on track also. Number three, stay positive. And this is one of the big things, especially with younger players, is you spiral out of control when things don't go your way. So if you hit the ball hard a couple times and it goes right at somebody, and suddenly woe is me and I stink and I can't get a hit and I can't, you're up at the plate or out on the mound and you just really don't believe in yourself, guess what? Everything gets way worse. You could take a slump that's really just luck-based and you could make it skill-based because now your mind's not right and you believe you're going to strike out or you believe you're going to get hit before, you can get out there. So don't let positivity be the reason that you stay in a slump longer than you should or get into a slump in the first place. Now, I don't believe in this stupid rah-rah BS. I think there's too much talk about staying positive and positivity to me in the real world just means reminding yourself that you belong on the field, that you belong, whether you're a 3-hole hitter and you're 0 for your last 20, just remind yourself like, hey, I'm a 3-hole hitter. I belong here. Coach put me here for a reason. I'm going to get out of this, but I'm a good hitter and I deserve to stay here. So that's to me what positivity means. It just means being your biggest fan and being confident that you're there for a reason and that you can play at this level and that you can dominate at this level. It doesn't have to be this rah-rah BS where you're just like, that fake, like that fake cheeriness that no one really relates to. Number four, don't accept too much advice. Lots of times when you're struggling, everyone wants to come tell you how you can get out of it. They want to give you this tip or this tip, do this drill, do this thing, this is what I do, this is what I do. If you have 10 cooks in your kitchen, it gets really hard to make a decent dinner, right? So when you get into a slump, you really kind of need to put your armor up a little bit to people that you don't really want their input. You should always want good input from people that you trust, and it takes a while to build up that trust. So when I was struggling, I always had a couple people on my team who I could say, hey man, do you see anything different? Does something look off to you? Like, can you give me some feedback? Like, what do you see? Why am I pitching so bad right now? But I wouldn't want that from 10 different guys, because guess what? I'm probably going to get 10 different answers because they all have 10 different perspectives, and they're probably telling them a lot of stuff that works just for them. Now, it's great to get info from and learn. Like, I've learned so much from every one of my teammates. I learned this thing from this guy and this thing from that guy, a slider grip from him, a change of grip from him, a slide step tip from this guy. Like, you learn so much from everybody, but when you're really struggling, it's really tough to get feedback from 10 different people and interpret it properly. Say, does this apply to me? Does it not apply to me? Because if you get a sinker baller telling a four-seam pitcher that you should pitch this way, that might be completely bad advice. It might be good to another sinker baller, blah, blah, blah. You understand what I'm saying? So find a couple people that you trust and go to them. And if you don't know who to trust, then find someone that you really admire and respect and ask them. But when a lot of people start bombarding, nod your head, say thank you. You can certainly listen, but you shouldn't go running around trying to make everyone happy and feel like you're acting on their advice, because it can really just make things way worse, and it can make that slump really confusing and hard to get out of. The next thing is make small incremental changes. Here's a great example. You're a hitter and you're struggling at the plate. And you're typically just lift your foot up and touch back down, kind of stride kind of hitter. Now, some hitters do really, really well with a big leg kick, right? Like Josh Donaldson in the big leagues, he's a great example, has a big leg kick when he hits. Now, if you're going into you have a 2-week rough patch, are you going to suddenly adopt some massive leg kick and completely overhaul sort of the way your swing starts? Maybe in the off season, but probably not during the in season. That's not an incremental change. That's a pretty large change, right? You wouldn't start, if you had a closed hitting stance, you wouldn't start with one of those way open stances where you step into it, right? That's also a really big change. Sometimes those things help, but most of the time that's too big of a change, because now it's like, okay, I was uncomfortable. I was like a little bit off mechanically, whatever. And now I'm doing this new thing that's also equally uncomfortable because I've never done it before, and it's very different than what I used to do. You don't want to make that big swing either. So you want to make small incremental changes. So if something's wrong with your stride, whether you're a pitcher or hitter, or something's wrong with the way you stay closed or you're lunging, your weight shifts, work on the smallest possible change first to see if that gets you back on track. Because again, think about it, slumps, especially when there's a big mechanical component, like say your pitching mechanics are a little off, you're leaking as a hitter, whatever it is, those are not big changes. It's just like little things that you got kind of wandered off track, and now you don't feel very good at the plate. So it's going to be a little thing that gets you back on track, right? So don't make these huge changes that are going to probably make you equally uncomfortable and keep you in that slump. And my last tip here is take your placebos. So what I mean by that is, that fancy wristband or your cool necklace or your new bat or your shiny cleats, whatever it is, all those things that help you like look good, play good, right? Those things don't actually make you a good ball player, right? But they do put a little bit of a pep in your step, and they can make you excited to be at the ballpark when you're otherwise maybe not, right? If it's a really cold, miserable day, but you've got a sweet new hoodie on, like you just got some new team gear, it makes that crappy day feel like, a little more fun, right? So even though those placebos, and hopefully you know what a placebo is, it's when you take like a sugar pill that has no actual medicinal effects, but it makes you feel better anyway because you believe in it. Those placebos, whether it's just, your new gear, whatever it is, they don't actually help, but sometimes they do help just because they can give you a little confidence boost when you're down. They can put a little pep in your step. So if you have any of those things and you want like a new wristband, something cheap that's going to help, just like, yeah, I'm ready to hit today. I feel good. I look good. Ready to play good. So be it. Whether it's your favorite bag of seeds or a nice new Gatorade flavor, it could be something really small. But I say take every little thing that can help. Definitely don't make your mom and dad go buy a new $400 bat, but every little thing that can help, just to get that confidence back up. Then you get a couple hits, and then boom, you're right back in the thick of it, okay? So hopefully today's video on how to get out of a slump in baseball was helpful. It's a really tough thing, and remember, everyone is going to have a season that's full of waves. You're not going to hit 3 out of 10 and hit 300 for the whole season. You're going to go 0 for 10, and then 6 for 11, and then you're going to go 3 for 9, and then 7 for 12. It's always going to be this ups and downs. And so you have to learn to deal with the downs productively, so you have shorter slumps and longer successful periods. That's how you put together a really good season, whether you're a hitter or a pitcher. All right. So if you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe, share this with a friend. I'm sure you have other players or players on your team, if you're a coach or a parent, who could use some slump advice. And thanks again for watching. Be sure to check out the links in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video.